What is up, guys? Thick Kackis here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and today we've got some brand spanking new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, unveiling official information. And so, let's get started. But just before we do, I created a public community Discord. It's been popping off so far after it was announced on Twitter, so if you want somewhere to just come, hang out, chill, talk, find people to play with, meme to your heart's content, it's going to be linked in the description down below. Definitely check it out. Alright, now let's talk about this new Destiny 2 news. So, first things first, there was a big update on some of the reissued weapons, some weapons that are getting higher infusion caps coming next season in Season 13. Specifically, we are getting some reissued weapons from the Dreaming City, as well as Dreaming City armor, and the Moon and Moon armor. And the reason this was done is obviously because Bungie is still selling Forsaken and Shadow Keep, but none of the weapons and stuff from there, except for the exotics, are still usable, so obviously that was a problem. Now, what exactly is being reissued? Well, starting with the Dreaming City. So, firstly, the 4 weapons being reissued are the Waking Vigil hand cannon, the Sleepless rocket launcher, Vouchsafe scout rifle, and the Retold Tale shotgun. Not only are these weapons getting higher infusion caps, but they also have new perk pools starting in Season 13. And it says that Dreaming City weapons that drop in Shattered Throne Dungeon can drop with perks that are unavailable from drops from other reward sources. That's very cool. So not only is the Dreaming City more relevant, but specifically that dungeon is now more relevant as well. Now, the 4 Moon weapons getting reissued are, firstly, the Premonition Pulse Rifle, but that's only from the Pit of Heresy dungeon, the Heretic rocket launcher, the Blasphemer, I think, shotgun, and then the Apostate sniper rifle. And again, those will have new perk pools, and in the Pit of Heresy dungeon, when they drop, they'll roll with perks unavailable from other sources. And let's actually expand on those mentioned dungeons. So, when it comes to these reissued items, so these drops will drop in high stats when earned from either dungeon. The final chest in the Pit of Heresy will no longer drop a fully masterwork piece of Dreambane armor, but instead, the Dreambane armor that drops there will have 7 armor energy and is guaranteed to have at least a plus 16 in 2 different stats and higher stats overall. But because of this, the class item won't drop there anymore. So I think, although I would have liked to see the entire roster of these weapons return, obviously, the fact that we're getting, 8 weapons total from these 2 different locations and the armor sets, and then the dungeons are now much more relevant to get very unique roles that aren't available anywhere else, this is pretty positive. Like, that is a pretty cool thing, and I can't wait to see some of the new roles on these weapons because some of them are very powerful. Particularly, slug shotguns are super meta right now, and both the Retold Tale from the Dreaming City and the Blasphemer from the Moon are slug shotguns, so that could be very exciting. Now, moving on from there, Bungie also talked about a big update coming to vendors launching again in Season 13. So Bungie says you're now going to be able to view your rank from the vendor screen, and here's actually a picture of what that is going to look like. They say instead of having rank rewards drop automatically into your loot system, they now will be picked up manually from the vendor lists. We feel like this gives much better visibility into what you'll be earning as you progress and helps you make better choices about where you spend your time. Now, Bungie continues and says progression is on a per ritual basis. You can be rank 10 for Crucible and rank 4 for Gambit, for example. You'll reset your rank right at the vendor by picking up the final reward. And they say rewards for each individual ritual are as follows. So for rank 4, you get 3 upgrade modules. When you're rank 7, you get 3 enhancement cores. Rank 10, you get a seasonal ritual shader, so that changes to ×3 enhancement cores after resetting your rank. Rank 13, 13, you get 2 enhancement prisms. Rank 16, you get a seasonal ritual emblem, which changes to ×2 enhancement prisms after resetting your rank. And then the reset reward is an ascendant shard, and that changes to an exotic engram after you reset your rank. So they say every rank up awards a base ritual engram just like before. Additionally, each of the above ranks also awards a prime ritual engram. And here is an image of kind of that process with your reputation rewards now showing. But here's something very important that everyone needs to know. Because of this, because the rewards are now changing to a rank basis rather than just spamming tokens into the vendor, your tokens, so your Crucible tokens, as well as your Crucible token gifts, are no longer needed, and they will depreciate into junk that is completely worthless starting in Season 13. So everyone out there, make sure before the start of next season, before February 9th, spam your boy Lord Shax with all of your Crucible tokens. Get rid of all of them because they will be literally worthless. And right now you can still get some decent rewards. Even if you're just getting legendaries and turning those into legendary shards, that's better than having them be completely worthless. So make sure you do that. Moving on from there, Bungie talks about nerfing the elephant in the room, or at least the elephant in trials, Shatter Dive. So here's what they're doing with update 3.0.2, and that goes live today. Like, as you're watching this, this should be live, which is pretty crazy. So for Shatter Dive, it now has damage fall off versus unfrozen targets. The max range damage was reduced from 50 down to 5, and the damage reduction you get while using the ability was 50%, now it's down to 25%. Now, for Whisper of Fissures, which is the fragment associated with more explosive radius when you shatter stuff, so they reduced the maximum minimum damage versus non-super players from 42 to 22 down to 30 to 4. They reduced the maximum damage versus super players down to 16 to 2, and they reduced the detonation radius versus players from 10 meters to 9 meters. So only a loss of a meter, but again, we have this big nerf to the minimum damage, I think, is the main thing I'm paying attention to. So you can't be at the very edge of this and still get absolutely clobbered. Now, they also saying that they're investigating the efficacy of the Stasis Behemoth Super. We want to let the changes settle to see where the Behemoth stands in the PvP hierarchy, but this is next on the radar. But I just want to say, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, obviously, Shatter Dive was an issue, but every time you would bring it up, Hunter mains that were getting a little used to absolutely demolishing everyone were saying, well, hold on, what about the Titan Super? What about, name the next broken PvP thing? I think it's pretty obvious, and I don't know what testing is needed to say that the Titan Super should definitely take up super energy when you use the base-like punch, because you get all the way around the map multiple times before your super goes away. That seems like a common sense thing to do, because although the hunters may be a little salty that Shatter Dive is going away, they're darn right by pointing out the next broken PvP thing. In any event, that's what's happening now. Let's move on to a couple other things Bungie mentioned. So they say their midterm goal is to improve PvP subclass usage and win rate balance. Addressing Stasis ability outliers will help us lower the ceiling, but we also want to pull up other underperforming light subclasses. This is fantastic because the issue is that Stasis has completely taken over the Crucible. The usage rate for Stasis subclasses is higher than really anything we've ever seen before, but obviously you can adjust that in one of two ways. You can nerf Stasis, or you can bring a lot of the underperforming light subclasses up to a level where they can actually compete with Stasis abilities. So interesting to say Bungie say that and have on the table some big buffs to light subclasses. Another midterm goal is to review our ability to gunplay balance in PvP. They say Destiny is a game about both explosive space magic moments and intrinsically satisfying gunplay. Especially in our 3v3 playlists, the usage of abilities has climbed as we introduce more and more ways to charge them quickly. So we're still in very early discussions, but we're looking into restoring a better balance where proper gunplay is rewarding in these these playlists, and I think a lot of players would be happy to see that. Unfortunately, we have no ETA on either of these things. Will it come in the next few months or will it come in a year? That's really the thing we need to know. And so guys, that is it for all of the important information revealed in today's update. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it informative, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at @RickKackis, that's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.